I am Dominus Cinephile.
Welcome to my movie and TV series reviews, where I will provide honest opinions of the latest releases. If the movie or TV series is a hit or a miss, be sure to know I will inform you. But if the movie or series is trash, be also sure to know that I will trash the hell out of the movie. I am Dominus Cinephile.
And the series on the review table today is the Nollywood limited crime series, Slum King. Slum King is a Nollywood 10-part limited crime series, produced by Shishi Nwora, the same producer that produced Shanty Town. Set in Lagos, Nigeria, Slum King premiered on Africa Magic Showcase, DSTV Channel 151 and Go TV Channel 12 on the 8th of October 2023. Slum King is written by Erica Kimian and Donald Tombia, directed by Dimeji Ajibola. The series features a lineup of Nollywood veterans and up-and-coming actors, including Tobi Bakare, Sonia Irabor, Prince Tony Ogbetere, Yola Aladesi, Olarotimi Fakunle, Gideon Okeke, Idia Asian, Jadakin Achafuzi, Aki Mogara, Bolaji Ogunmala, Hermes Ayel, Elvina Ibru, Adialua Akintoba, and His Perfect. Slum King narrates the story of Edafe, who witnessed the murder of his family by armed robbers at the age of 11. The robbers entered his family home because, unfortunately, he had forgotten to lock the front door. Trapped in a cycle of guilt and trauma, Slum King follows Edafe's journey from a troubled street thug in the slums to transforming into MAJE, the charismatic king of the slum. This 10-episode series delves deep into various themes, and I'll attempt to unpack them one by one. Initially, after watching the online trailer for this series, I was somewhat hesitant about giving it a chance. One reason being Tobi Bakare's portrayal of the lead character, and the trailer gave off a vibe reminiscent of two previous movies he's been a part of. The similarities between this series and the movie Brotherhood, starring Tobi Bakare, as well as the film Gangs of Lagos on Amazon Prime, also featuring Tobi Bakare, are quite apparent. In Brotherhood, King, portrayed by Tobi Bakare, loses his parents and joins a gang of robbers. Similarly, in Gangs of Lagos, Obalola, played by Tobi Bakare, also loses his parents and becomes involved with a criminal gang. The synopsis of Slum King doesn't seem markedly different from the two aforementioned movies. The primary distinction lies in the inclusion of Edafe's family ghosts, who occasionally communicate with him in his mind. Considering the series is produced by Shishi Nwora, while watching Slum King, you'll observe striking similarities between it and her prior series, Shanty Town. Essentially, Slum King seems to amalgamate elements from Brotherhood, Gangs of Lagos, and Shanty Town. By now, you might anticipate where this is heading. The series appears to lack the effort to distinguish itself significantly from the two movies and series mentioned earlier. Now, without further delay, let's delve into this series to see if it lives up to the hype surrounding it. I must acknowledge that the story had some positive elements, although much of the synopsis seemed borrowed from two previous movies featuring Tobi Bakare. However, similar to many Nollywood productions, the series was marred by several technical issues that could have been easily avoided. While some of the cast delivered commendable performances, there were also instances of subpar acting. The series commences by introducing a younger version of most of the cast. From episode 1 to episode 2, we witness the tragic event of Edafe's family being killed. However, the killing scene in that episode fell short, especially regarding Edafe's father attempting to fight off one of the killers. The fight choreography or struggle lacked strength. One recurring aspect of that scene throughout the series was Edafe's father urging his son to focus on the candles atop a cake. This detail became a recurring theme in Edafe's memories. Was there a hidden message or a particular reason behind Edafe's father emphasizing the candles? Or did the scriptwriter and director just fool around with the father's dialogue? Despite reaching the last episode, the series failed to provide any explanation regarding this, leaving viewers in the dark. Young Edafe will live with his grandmother as a traumatized teenager haunted by the ghosts of his slain family. In the initial 2 or 3 episodes, involving some of the young actors, the series made sense. A few of them performed well, and the story surrounding them was compelling. However, the major issue with their scenes was the monotone delivery and one-liner dialogues. This problem persisted throughout the series, extending to most of the adult actors. Their dialogues remained monotonous, and many of the actors seemed to struggle with their performances. One major issue I encountered with some of the actors in this series was the noticeable difference in appearance between the younger and older versions of the characters. For instance, consider the actor who portrayed Yaga's brother in his younger years compared to the one depicting the older version. Gideon Achifuzi, also known as Swanky JKA, portrays the older version of Yaga's brother, Friday Obi, in this series. It was surprising to witness a significant contrast in complexion between the younger Friday Obi, who had a very dark skin tone in episodes 1 to 2, and Swanky JKA, who possesses a much lighter complexion, unlike the actor who initially portrayed the character. It's perplexing how the production transitioned from casting a very dark young actor to a lighter-skinned older actor in this series. It's almost as if the casting director was smoking cassava leaves instead of weed, or perhaps suggesting the character underwent skin bleaching. There's a lot happening in this series that I'd like to dissect, but time constraints won't allow it. I'll aim to keep this review concise and to the point. Edafe ends up in prison and encounters Imoli, the king of the slum portrayed by Olarotimi Fakunle. Olarotimi's character injects a breath of fresh air into this series. In certain scenes, his character radiates life, and his performance is commendable. However, in other instances, he seems to struggle to deliver a convincing performance. I hesitate to fault him entirely, as some of the weaker moments might be attributed to the director and the lackluster dialogue from the script. In this series, we witness a prison break, which, unfortunately, turned out to be as comical as the entire plot leading up to it. Edafe and Imoli attempt to escape from prison. However, I anticipated the prison setting to resemble a genuine penitentiary. Instead, most scenes featuring the inmates occurred outside their cell blocks. The wired fence surrounding them exposed buildings and cars nearby, undermining the authenticity of those moments. A more suitable location should have been chosen to depict the inmates' surroundings. The setting used by the production crew felt reminiscent of a car park in Lagos Island, lacking the desired atmosphere for a prison escape scene. Anyway, there was a brawl in the prison, part of Edafe's plan for their escape. During the brawl, only 3 prison officers were deployed to handle the chaos. It seemed illogical for a prison to have so few officers attempting to control that many prisoners. The peculiar aspect of that scene was the lack of clarity on how Edafe and his companions managed to escape. Subsequently, in a later scene, it was mentioned that the prison caught fire, and they staged their deaths in the blaze. This raises questions about how they faked their deaths and why the police didn't investigate further. The lack of continuity became a significant concern in this series, with various plot holes emerging. This series introduced elements without providing a backstory. For instance, in the final episode, the director and scriptwriter opted to go full-blown Cersei Lannister and Jaime Lannister on us, without offering adequate context. The director overlooked the need for detailed backstories involving 2 major characters here. My surprise was quite feeble, when during the last episode, Imoli mentioned that Tequila, portrayed by Gideon Okeke, and Salurncel, portrayed by Bolaji Ogunmila, were siblings. Tequila served as Imoli's second-in-command, and upon his imprisonment, he instructed Tequila to care for his wife, Salurncel, and their son. Throughout episodes 1 to 10, there wasn't a scene or flashback suggesting any sibling relationship between Tequila and Salancel. Hence, the revelation by E. Morley came across as unexpectedly humorous. My question to the writer and director of this series is, where is the backstory of Tequila and Salancel, considering they seem to be your version of Game of Thrones Cersei Lannister and Jaime Lannister? Let's briefly discuss the performances of some actors in the series. Tobi Bakare, as expected, stars as the lead actor carrying a significant weight in the production. I had minimal expectations for his performance since in movies like Gangs of Lagos and Brotherhood, his acting didn't have that wow factor for me. His acting often feels one-dimensional, making it a challenge for him to differentiate his previous characters from any new role he takes on. In Slum King, while attempting to portray a traumatized, mentally disturbed thug, he aimed for a better performance. However, it still fell short of being outstanding. Surprisingly, the young actor portraying Edafe delivered a better performance than him. His portrayal of King in Brotherhood and Obalola in Gangs of Lagos mirrors his character as Edafe in Slum King, making it difficult to discern any significant differences among King, Obalola, and Edafe. Physical appearance and a well-built physique don't necessarily equate to good acting. Sonia Irabor takes on the role of Dr. Kate Okonkwo in the series. While her diction suits her character, who studied in England, her acting appeared lacking. Her scenes alongside Tobi needed more energy to truly shine. Despite her efforts, the script's dialogue didn't complement her performance. The chemistry between her and Tobi was lacking and failed to generate believability. Much has been said about Gideon Okeke's method acting, but whenever I watch him in a movie or series, I find myself questioning where this acclaimed method acting actually lies within his performances. For those unfamiliar, method acting, also known as the method, encompasses a set of rehearsal techniques devised by various theatre practitioners. It aims to elicit sincere and expressive performances by enabling actors to identify with, understand, and experience a character's inner motivations and emotions. Gideon Okeke portrays Tequila in Slum King. His character occasionally appeared comical while also attempting to embody the serious demeanor of a potential king in the slum. However, his acting fell short of embodying the essence of the thug he was meant to portray. Similar to some other actors, he performed well in certain scenes but lacked conviction in others. The fight scenes in this series were disappointing and poorly executed. Additionally, the crowd scenes featured numerous onlookers, particularly during the carnival scene. The final episode of this series was quite eventful, and it left me questioning the director's and scriptwriter's choices. How can one explain suspecting someone of an affair merely based on finding a handkerchief in a room? This was the scenario between the character portrayed by Akim Ogara and the actor playing his wife. The haste in concluding the series was evident and somewhat abrupt. Moreover, I must mention that Akim Ogara's acting felt too mechanical. His performance lacked spontaneity, making his character's actions predictable. The hospital burning scene appeared laughable. There was no indication whatsoever that the building was actually on fire. The special effects or CGI used in that scene were among the weakest I've ever witnessed. Moreover, could someone clarify how Yagazi managed to survive the carnival incident? Almost everyone in that scene was poisoned with a lethal overdose of fentanyl mixed with cocaine. It's perplexing, especially considering the hospital lacked the necessary equipment or treatment to save her life. Watching this series tends to raise more questions than it provides answers. In summary, Slum King presents itself as a crime drama series, yet it falls short of showcasing actual criminal activities beyond sporadic instances of violence. Despite its potential for greatness, the storytelling and execution by the director hindered its prospects. While it contained a handful of commendable scenes, it ultimately failed to meet the high expectations. Tobi Bakare shoulders the weight of the series, delivering a performance that lacks the wow factor once again. His character echoes similarities to his roles in Gangs of Lagos and Brotherhood. If you're fond of simplistic and uneventful TV series or dramas riddled with plot holes, lacking continuity, mixed with moments of robotic acting and dialogue, then this series might suit your preferences. And now for my rating. Slum King scores a disappointing 4 out of 10. I'm definitely trashing this. Thank you for watching. Please remember to like, comment, and share this video. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and click on the bell icon for notifications. Also, be sure to follow me on TikTok, WhatsApp channel and Instagram at Dominus Cinephile for more movie and TV series reviews. Dominus Cinephile signing out.